In this lecture, we will develop dimension analysis using a property of dimension, and using this, we will define dimension for obscure objects like a brain. First, dimension analysis is invented by Richard Feynman, who got Nobel Prize for gauge boson and is famous for Feynman diagram. In a short way, dimension analysis is to balance both sides of equations. So when right side has a time variable, left side should have time variable. For example, in these particular equations, both sides have a variable of pressure. And modern physics developed dimension analysis for time to be same with 1 per energy and for space to be same with 1 per momentum. For example, in this Schrödinger equation, there's energy variable in right side and there's 1 per time variable in left side. So this is a good result of modern dimension analysis. So as we can see, modern physics have developed dimension analysis more deeper. And this lecture will develop dimension analysis more deeper using properties of dimension. We will see the basic property of dimension. General relativity says dimension is a concept of space and time, and n dimension has n variables, which is independent variables of space and time. Hologram theory say that when a geometry has a divergence, the dimension of it gets more dimensions. And for dimension to increase, all variables should make an orthogonal relation. And the outside and inside of sphere with divergence has orthogonal relation. The n-dimensional function can be n plus 1 dimensional function when range works as a domain. 2 axes make a circle, 4 axes make a sphere. And Flatland says to see an object 1 dimension higher than the dimension of the object is needed. To define an object 1 dimension higher than the dimension of the object is needed. Lower dimension cannot see higher dimension in one shot. Object is only seen as each section which has 1 dimension less than the origin object. The lower dimension involves the property of higher dimension, so the property working on higher dimension works on lower dimension. In this region, proof on higher dimension works on lower dimension always. Dot is surrounded by null, line is surrounded by dot, plane is surrounded by line, body is surrounded by plane. We can't think dot, line, plane, and body. We only see body which is seen as a plane. You can think null, dot, line, plane, and body, which each section of dot, line, plane, and body is null, dot, line, plane. Plane function needs body graph, line function needs plane graph, and body function needs line graph to be expressed. 1-dimensional function is the shape of dot. 2-dimensional function is the shape of line. 3-dimensional function is the shape of plane. Quantum mechanics says in lower dimension, higher dimensional object is seen as object with divergence. Hypothesis of physics says divergence makes an object to have higher dimension unit. Dot exists in a line exists in a plane exists in a body. Linear algebra says in dot null function exists in a line, dot function exists in a plane, line function exists in a body, plane function exists. N-dimensional function includes functions with lower dimension. N-dimension needs n variances to express the dimension. 1 axis is homomorphic to 1-dimensional function, 2 axes are homomorphic to 2-dimensional function, and n axes are homomorphic to n-dimensional function. To have a divergence, high dimensional angle is needed. The level of dimension is the number of axes to express the dimension. Set theory says the velocity of divergence is constant. Dimension analysis. Now we will compare the dimension of brain and our body. Brain with neural system consists of our body with digest system and heart blood system. So neural system is a section of our body. So within 13, 14, 30 rule, neural system is 1 dimension lower than our body. Because with 13, neural system is one property of our body. With 14 rule, neural system should be 1 dimension lower than our body. And with 13 rule, a function in our body which has higher dimension than our body doesn't exist. So a function of neural system should have 1 dimension lower than the other one of our body. And 30 rule was object is only seen as a section of the object which has a 1 dimension less than the dimension of origin object. And 40 rule was section has 1 dimension less than the dimension of origin object. Number 30 is n-dimensional function include lower dimensional functions. And in neuroscience, brain is 4-dimensional, so we can define our body as 5-dimensional. But what is cancer? Cancer is a disease which is related with blood vessel. With blood system, it is transferred to full body. So M1 degree or M2 degree cancer should have lower dimension than the one of blood system. Brain has same dimension with neural system because brain is a kernel of neural system, which means brain inherits the property of neural system and becomes an independent group. But M1 degree and 2 degree cancer cannot be an independent group, so it should be 1 dimension lower than blood system, which is 4-dimensional. So as we stop the increase of cancer and increase the function of our body like digestive system and immune system, we can cure cancer, which is explained by 4 and 8 rule. Number 4. 4 dimension to increase all variables should make an organ relation. And 8-dimensional function can be impossible dimensional function when range work as domain. As rule 4, the organic relation can make higher dimension because organic means all the variable. As rule 8, an organic combination of all variables in function makes higher dimension. We know autonomic nervous system can control vessel, so autonomic nervous system is domain and vessel is the range. In this way, each system affects each other, so they can be both domain and range. And they are organic enough, as we know, so these systems can make higher dimensions. So cure using autonomic nervous system and other systems would be high dimensional, which is very efficient. So within this theory, we can even conquer metastatic cancer, and acupuncture over medicine and health management are needed to cure the disease within good luck. So first we need drugs which control whole system like digestive system and nervous system, which are connected to autonomic nervous system. For example, if you are 10 people who have weak respiratory system and vascular system but strong liver system, Oriental medicine can control your body as a whole field and increase the function of respiravascular system using autonomic nervous system. So Oriental treatment is 5-dimensional because it controls our body as a whole system, which explains the miracle case. There was a miracle case where some people cured their cancer using pemvidazole, which is used to eliminate bugs in dog. If they were some people, it can be possible. Within proper diagnosis, there are so many drugs which can use in nature. The genome of herb varies a lot. As human body is 5-dimensional, whole spectrum of genome is 6-dimensional, so we can use 6-dimension to cure 5-dimensional body. So we can cure any symptom and disease. Come to our hospital. This is panacea.